me get it right now. Let me get it right. Make sure. Hey, yo, Charlemagne, is we live? What up? Guess who's back? Still smell it all on my clothes. Bringing you another epic rant today. Let's talk about something that I think might be a little bit of an issue. A blessing and a curse for hip hop. That's trolls. Now, the internet era, we all live in the internet era, we all grew up with the internet. So, trolls are just a common part of being on the internet. Now, if you don't know who a troll is somebody who is playing some sort of character or playing up some sort of annoyance, playing up something to get a reaction from somebody. And we live in an era where you can touch your favorite artists, athletes, actors very easily. So people choose trolling to get attention of people. And if you notice, people give more negative energy. Give more energy to things they don't like than to they do like. And I'm also somebody who does this. I feel like it's just a human thing because we always are searching for like homeostasis, which is like, yeah, I hit you. Yep. I hit you with that 11th grade, well, probably more like 9th grade science work term. Yep. But it's just like the maintenance of comfortability at all times. So anytime we see something that's out of the ordinary, I think it makes our brain react, or something that's not what you deem as perfect, our brain reacts to that more than something that is perfect. Because once it's perfect, or to your eyes the way you want it, that's it. Your brains are always wanting to do something. So, but what I've noticed is that a lot of people think trolls are just a bad thing. I'm crossing my legs, by the way, because I'm about to really get in my bag. Trolls have been good and bad for hip hop. And let me break it down. For instance, I'll use a few different examples. Orlando, what's his face from That's So Raven, the dude who is clearly trolling everybody and playing this character that's making everybody click. To me, he's an example of when trolling works, but not get the result you may want. It might be the result you may want, but not. Because, for instance, I might be kind of scatterbrained because I don't write down scripts and nothing, so I just kind of freestyle. But what's crazy is that, okay, looking at it from an artist point of view, we put in our lifeblood, our blood, sweat, and tears. We put in hard work to make art and to create stuff to put out to you guys. And sometimes when you put in a bunch of work for something and people don't appreciate it, or it doesn't get the result you want, it's very defeating. Like, it's more defeating than putting out something that gets a bunch of negative reaction, right? Because as an artist, you just want reaction. People think that art, it means, like, good art means that you're supposed to like it. No, it's not. Good art means that it raises a question in your head, or an argument, or makes you challenge something you used to look at. Like, for instance, that famous sculpture with the naked dude. There was people who are very, very, the one that, I think, the thinker, where he's like that and he's like naked. But there are people who are very offended at that. Very, very offended at that. Who think it's tasteless, who think it shouldn't be in front of museums and places. But does that make it any less art? No. Because the artist, in a way, was trolling. Because if he would have made a sculpture of a completely closed guy sitting there thinking, why would you care? That's regular. Since he's naked, people are going to get offended. People are going to talk about it. It's going to spread. And that's the same thing with music. I made this video because the whole King Yella thing that's going on with Cardi B and Offset is just, as an artist, I'm always for, I think consumers are not as bright as they should be a lot of the time. And I think what used to happen, like when hip hop started and in like the early 90s, is that artists thought consumers were smarter. And as crazy as that sounds, so we were chasing the consumer, right? In the 90s. We were trying to make what you wanted to hear. I would say in the early 2000s, like with Snap Music, I think one of the first trolls was that dude, Fabo. I know people say it's Lil B, but nah. It was Fabo. He was trolling. Come on, man. He was wop bop-a-loop bopping a little bit too much for me to believe that's how he really acted all the time. But what I'm saying is that in the early 2000s, I think artists learned, or record labels, or whoever learned that, wait a minute, chasing fans is hard, because then we got to think what they want to see and try to create the best stuff. What happens if we make them chase us? What happens if we do so much stupid stuff that they have no option but to talk about us and but to promote our stuff? So now we no longer have to create something you want to see. We just have to create something that you want to argue against, which is very easy, which is 300 times easier than creating something that is good. But can I blame artists for doing that? No, I don't. Not at all. Do I blame King Yellow? No, not at all. Do I blame Lil B for essentially creating troll culture? No, not at all. That's the bass god. Never. Do I blame Soulja Boy for basically trolling his whole career? No, I don't. Because the fact I'm sitting here shooting a video talking about these guys is the fact that it worked. The only dumb person in this equation is the fans, is the consumers. The fact that y'all don't see, I feel like in the beginning it's one thing. Okay, I understand, let it slide. But we've grown up with the internet and we've been around the internet for so long. We're millennials, I'm a millennial, but we've had internet long enough to know, to start being like, come on, bro. Y'all don't see that this the same pattern over and over and over again. Y'all don't see that. Y'all don't see that Little Bow Wow every few months has something that you consider an L, but somehow you'll talk about Bow Wow for a solid year through different things. People don't even sit back and they'll be like, Meek Mill is taking L's. Soulja Boy, Bow Wow, they taking L's. Y'all start in January saying that. And then at the end of the year, the best moments, y'all still talking about that. So who is the loser? It sucks because we live in a society or a part that there's just so much content put out, so much stuff all the time, that making good music is not enough anymore, because a lot of people make good music. Making moments is way more important. But if you want to see meme culture, shock jock culture, trolling culture end, it's very, very, very simple. Because and I'm gonna tell you something that artists don't want you to know, right? Y'all still have all the power. They don't want me to say that, because why would I'm blowing the whole, I'm blowing the whole Italian job right now. Pause. That sounded crazy. It's basically snitching on them, because what it is I would think people would know this, but if you don't click or don't comment in any way, you just killed that thing. Because for some reason, it's like people think that you're gonna negatively comment enough to make somebody who likes something not like something. I think if y'all realized, as soon as you see something you don't like, you see a guy rapping in a dress, you see whatever trolling that's clearly trolling, the first thing y'all do is, oh man, what? Let me pop up my social medias and talk about this. If y'all just sat for a second when you went to go type and realized nobody cares what you think. If you knew that as you were going to type, I bet you a lot more people wouldn't be doing it. Because people will say something negative about something, get a bunch of reaction to it. They'll be like, yo, that new Young Thug song is garbage. He in a dress. What's going on with hip hop? That goes viral. And for some reason, they think that helped them. No, it helped Young Thug. Like, what? All that happened is we went from paying companies thousands and thousands of dollars to promote our stuff to just being able to drop stuff that irritates you, and you'll promote it better than any Nike, any Gatorade, or anybody else will, because y'all will be arguing the entire day. That was a long story to get to this point, since y'all love M. I love M too, but when trolling can be good, I think Eminem was trolled back into being some Slim Shady. Now, I don't think necessarily just being, because there's people who had real gripes and real issues with his last project, Revival. But I think the majority of people who were attacking M didn't listen to the project. Let's keep it a stat. They didn't listen to it. And if they listened to it, they didn't listen to the full thing. They just went off what everybody else was saying. So at that point, they were trolls, because they didn't know why they were saying what they were saying. They're just saying it to get a reaction. And you see that got him back in his bagola. So it could be good and it could be bad, but the way to end it is not pay attention to it. The more people who don't pay attention to it, if, for instance, if Young Thug puts out a video tomorrow and he's wearing a dress, right? His whole team is like, when they make it, they're like, yo, this is about to go viral. There's gonna be a bunch of people talking about it. So let's put this dress on. Let's da. If you were to put a dress on, right? Shoot a video, and then that video got 5,000 views, he would feel like an idiot. That's the only way that an artist can feel. That's when you feel like an idiot, because it's one thing to do some crazy stuff, right? It's another thing to do some crazy stuff and nobody cares. That's how you kill trolls. But hey, put in the comment section below, do you think trolls are good or bad? Have you been a troll? I'm sure you have, because there's trolls in the comment section. But my name is Scru. I'm pretty freaking awesome, but I wouldn't be nothing without the S&J Nation. Woogie boogie boogie. Put down in the comment section below what else y'all want me to talk about. I was thinking about making a rant about Lupe and Kendrick, because they're going through some stuff right now, and I'm a fan of both of them, or was a fan of both of them. I'm not gonna let you know which one. That's for another video below. Another video. Put in the comment section below. Pardon my back. Shrugs the shoulders. Blatant disrespect that does the doja. Shout out to Head Eye. Shout out to Battle Rap. I got to do it every video. Every video. All right. Peace. And I love you.